Georgia, Georgia.
Hello, shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to the Georgia Shooting Connection Friday Night live stream. Hope y'all like the intro. Compliments of chessboard. Thank y'all for being here. Hope everybody had a great week. Let's go through the room, see how everybody's doing. How you doing, Hillbilly?
Hey, buddy, how y'all doing today?
Better than we deserve.
Man, I'm doing great. So glad to be on here. Looking forward to every Friday night. This is so much fun, guys. Thank you so much for having me on here. I mean, that side chat, like, they just been taking off. Good luck on calling everybody's name out there tonight, Jamie. I mean, they're getting with it.
I see more than 30 out there already.
Oh, yeah, they're cranking, man. Look at that. Hey, everybody. So, what you been up to, CW?
I've been staying as busy as I can. I was out fishing today, been making videos. I've been going to the range. I got a pile of laundry that I got to get finished because I haven't been home much. But yeah, staying busy. I gotta stay busy. I don't, and it gets bad. What about you, Mark? What's going on? We've been missing you.
Yes, sir. I've been busy. Life stuff. A little bit of overtime here and there. Doing good. Gearing up for hunting season. I've done a little sitting, but other than that, just looking forward to sitting with you guys for a little bit and catching up. So, how you doing out there on the West Coast?
Well, it's noisy out this way. We got an air show coming up tomorrow and Sunday, and the sky is full of kerosene right now, also known as Jet A. Holy moly.
Oh, yeah.
This afternoon, 2 Ospreys and a C-17A came in almost at the same time. Dang near leveled my house. I mean, I'm just about a quarter mile off final approach, and those guys came in. Good grief! I think the sidewalk's cracked.
Nice.
But it's fun, you know. There's a MiG-15 up there, and they're all the boys up there practicing. And this MiG-15 is up there doing Immelman turns, which is a difficult maneuver. And he goes straight up in the air. He stacks that thing, and it's just a MiG-15. He must have done something to it because he stacked it up on his butt. Took it up to about 10,000 feet, starts an inside loop, and then goes back over and comes back right side up again, and then just boom, straight back down to the ground. And just, I keep waiting for the smoke to start coming up. But so anyway, life is good here. We got good weather again, and we're out of the 2-day heat spell we had. And I got a few videos up and was at the range yesterday and had some fun. And the range folks, the range masters are picking up lead for me. How good is that?
Wow.
Don't have to pick it off the ground myself. They said, no, we're out there all the time. Leave us some containers. We'll pick it up for you. We're trying to find ways to get rid of this lead. So I said, oh, I'm your boy. So that's all good. And let's see. I just put up one video today. In fact, it's a Rumble only video. So that went up. But I'm happy. Life is good. I'm working on my procrastination skills. Most of the time, I'm getting really good at it now. So happy to be here.
I want to say something, Walter. Read the F-15. You say it's running better than what it should. I'm sure what he did is, you know, on top of your carburetor, your air cleaner, you flip that upside down and put it back on there. You get more air in there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can kind of tell by that sound. Yeah, you can hear that sound when it.
That's probably what he's done.
This is a MiG-15. Not an F-15. There's a couple of F-15s over there too. This is an old MiG. And,
yeah,
kind of fun to watch. Yeah, It looks like, of
Little nice.
course, with all of the other stuff that's going on, we're going, man, I hope this is just air show stuff.
Yeah. Little nitro in the tank.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you just see that pilot up there, dialing in that nitro. Yeah, I tell you, that guy carries an extra bag out to the cockpit with him, I think, for some extra equipment that the rest of us probably don't have.
May have to work on that while he's up in there.
Yeah. Boy, we got a good side chat going out there. It's filling up.
Yeah, we do.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's 40 now.
Abigail and Dwayne just showed up.
Yeah, I was.
There's Tony.
Tony's there. Big Al's there.
Yeah, I
Dwayne's here.
I'm trying to say hi to everybody, but man, there's so many people out there.
I know they're coming in faster. Somebody shut the door.
No, let them all in.
You
I was
bet.
working
Open
on
them
that.
doors.
I was working on the verse of the week, and I looked back over here, and I had missed 24 comments. Sorry, guys, we're not ignoring y'all. We're just, if your host
Big
was
Al.
better prepared, I would not miss comments. But yeah, there's that. There's Bama Dad, Raleigh Carvelis.
Yeah.
Big Al. Big Al did a video tonight.
I
Yeah,
saw
he did.
that and left him a comment.
There's Rune.
Oh wow, been a while.
Yeah, Rune, how you doing, buddy? And there's one of my favorite people, Miss Kitty,
There she is.
in the flesh. No autographs, please.
Rich White. How you, Rich?
Rich. We don't ignore anybody. Try not to.
Hopefully, Rich White's feeling better.
Yeah. So we need to ask Bama Dad, how you feeling, brother? You getting over your surgery last week? He had outpatient surgery last Friday, so good to see him back out there. I'm gonna go over and meet up with him. He's only over in Alabama, so he's only a couple of 3 hours away. So I'm gonna go meet
Oh,
him.
that'd be nice. Yeah.
And so we got
Papa.
there's Papa's Place coming in here. Christian
And
guest.
Hasbro. Hey, it has.
Yeah. And I guess before we get too deep into this, we should Gene's off at a wedding rehearsal, and Ricky Baird, rub it in, brother, rub it in, rub it in.
Ricky.
He's about to be my neighbor. He's going to be living about 20 minutes from me, and I feel sorry for both of our neighborhoods when that happens. And Christian Grest had a premiere video today on a pistol optic that I'm interested in. One of the Gideon optics. If you guys hadn't seen that, get over to his channel and check that out. And
A lot of talk about those Gideon optics lately. They're looking pretty good for the money.
yeah, $200, and there's I think there's 4 different models, and I'm just trying to pick out what's going on with that. I know, Andy, as soon as we get used to what's Hot Pot got, he takes a week off to do a wedding rehearsal of all things. Can you believe it?
Right. Well, he's probably doing the service.
He could be.
Maybe not. We see what Mock's got.
Oh, put me on the spot, huh?
No pressure or anything. Yeah, Jesse, I'll have to get a green dot, man. I got astigmatism, and a red dot looks like a gyrating oval.
Wow.
And
You know, I've
I
got
get-
astigmatism too, and I got the Holosun 507C, and they work good for me, Jamie.
I get the starburst with my astigmatism.
Yeah.
Looks
Yeah.
like the just different kind of
Yeah, when they're bad, they're worthless. You know, I've tried a couple of them that I just couldn't see. It just didn't work.
street
thoughts of an
lights,
old,
anything. Yeah, it's all bad. But
I'd tell thoughts of an old soldier of that CZ-75. I had a BD, and I missed that probably more than any gun I've ever gotten rid of or lost. And Christian says Gideon are hitting hard, and blessed to be able to test one of them out. I'm looking forward to some follow up videos on that one, and they just keep coming in here, guys. Welcome in. Hope everybody had a good week. And
Yeah. Talking about that stigmatism. Let me ask you guys. I've been told, like, when you're looking at it through your bare eye or even your, whatever, and you get that starburst. If you leave it at that setting where you see that starburst, and you just pick up your phone and take a picture of it, if that starburst disappears, it is astigmatism. If it don't, it's the optic. Have you guys heard that before?
I hadn't, but it kind of makes sense. You know, if you can photograph the dot and it looks like a dot in the picture, then it's a good dot. It's got to be.
It's your eye. Yeah, that's what I've always heard. So
makes sense.
because I had one, I thought it was my eyes, but it wasn't. It showed up in the camera.
Miss Kitty, I'm hoping you're right on that one, and I have absolutely no reason to doubt you. And Lakeview, who's not jealous of that particular handgun? A Shadow
Okay.
2 compact. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I think you can also take that red dot and rotate the red dot, and if the stigmatism stays the same, it's your eye. It's the pattern.
That's good advice, Papa's Place. I'll have to check those out too.
Yeah, prisms and etched reticles do great for stigmatisms, right? Is that what I heard correctly?
Yeah, I thought now Tommy Boy says the LED that makes the difference, not the color. I don't know,
Right.
man. Yeah, there you go. Prism optics. So I'm wanting something to go on a handgun, and I've never done that before. So
I have very few handguns that are drilled to accept optics. Most of the ones we have available to us in California aren't optics ready, except for my 22s. My Mark II and Mark IV both have red dots on them, and they work pretty well. But that's the only two handguns that I own that have an optic on them.
Tactical Fud, check your email, buddy. So 762 says he switched over of his red dots to prism sights. So it's the thing. And Room's got a CZ455. Anything to me that says says CZ on it is worth taking a look at. And Christian burst my bubble. Prisms are rifle shotgun optics only. Man, I'm having trouble keeping up.
It's rolling. I'm trying to keep up too.
Okay, we got our first real question for the night, and we'll get CW tuned in over here in a minute. 6mm Creedmoor is a 243. 22 250. I'm not so sure. I know that they claim it's a real barrel burner, and 243 I know is. So if you got um, those Creedmoor have a little bit less powder capacity, so maybe it'll help on barrel burn and barrel
The
wear.
advantage. Well, it's not really. It depends on your point of view, as with everything. Their claim to fame is twist rate, as with most new calibers today, because you can only recreate the wheel so many times. A lot of these calibers, if you look at them, the vast majority of the new calibers have much different twist rates to utilize longer, sleeker, more aerodynamic bullets, and that's their claim to fame. So comparing the 6mm Creed to a 243, the 6mm Creed is going to do better with 105, 107, or even 110 grain or whatever that other long bullet that Berger makes, where the 243 is really topping out at 105, and even that is not generally the best for it. So if that makes it better for you, then it's better. Otherwise, it's just different. The same with the Creedmoor, the 6.5 Creedmoor, and what's that one that they're talking about on YouTube a lot now is that new 270 6.8 Western.
Yeah,
That's basically a fast twist 270. It utilizes a longer.
And that's a Winchester, and I think
Yeah.
I think the Creedmoors are Hornady designs.
Yeah. So basically, better is relative. If a longer bullet is up your alley, then that's going to be better for you.
Yeah, I know. When it comes to 270 Winchester, the greatest cartridge ever conceived by man. You got 130 or 150 grain bullet choices, and that's about it. And I can see where uh, something in the 165 to 175 grain range with a faster barrel twist would be much more advantageous, especially for long range shooting and hunting. Papa's Place, I'm going to be preaching arc and optics at you, but very inexpensive is relative. These run about $250 to $300, I guess. And I'm not sure how. There's Walt. 6-shooter Texans using 140 grain in the world's greatest cartridge, and Walks is using a 160. And Mike Hester saying 30-06 won World War II, not the 270. And the only reason that is true, Walt, is because the United States government had so much 30-06 already on hand. Uh, if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, the The M1 Garand was originally designed for 270. Check on that and let me know what you find. So less than $100. I'm not sure about that one, Papa's Place.
Maybe a Simmons or something.
Oh, Simmons for the money is awesome, but I don't know if you can get an adjustable parallax at that.
Oh yeah, might find a used one someplace.
Maybe.
Well, I have a question for you, Jamie.
Well, I have an answer.
Your friend there was looking for that video on my press to tune up the American 8. I wondered if you had given it to him, if he had gotten anywhere, or if that's working for him.
I gave it to him, and I seen him last night, and I really didn't have a chance to talk to him that much. I didn't bring that up. So Mike Hester says that the Garand was intended for 270, but the U.S. made it better by making it a 30-06. Dang, Fuzz.
Tommy, what? Tommy saying anybody who shoots a 270 is a poacher.
Goodness.
Y'all brutal. There you go. Yeah, I love my 270, but I love 30-06 as well. Ain't that right, Mock?
Joe got that right.
Show.
Play some Skinner.
Yeah. Mike, I agree. The 22 mags, what most of spotlighters carry around here. Actually, Christian, what I'm hearing is 30-30 has killed more deer than any other cartridge, only because it's been around for so long.
Yeah, it's been around and it's popular. So
yeah.
That's a gun I regret letting go of.
I would seriously disagree with that, Ricky. That thing just hurts, man. It hurts bad. And that's a good range right there. 270, 30-06, and 308. You can't go wrong with either of those.
Yeah, that's a nice compliment to have.
Yeah, it is. Check out Hasbro. 270 Winchester is what happens when 30-06 gets right with the Lord. I placed an order. I think 3 of us on the panel placed an order, Tommy boy, but we're yet to be contacted whether we
Yeah, it's looking like the doors are shut completely. We placed some orders here recently and haven't really heard anything back positive. It sounds like they're going to be able to fill any of them.
Christian, my hunting partner calls 30-30 a pea shooter. Just saying. And Ricky likes 32 special Winchester special over 30-30. A lot of folks do. So Georgia Trapper got something from
Nice.
yeah. Why? Why, Rebel? Why? Why are you still trying to convert him? One of the things I ordered from Huntington was a new 30-30 mold RCBS. Yeah, Guns and Water says 22,250. There's you a question from Tommy Boy CW when you get a second.
Yeah, I'm actually loading some right now. I pulled 3 random bullets throughout the about 40 or so that were left in that loading. I double checked all my notes, and I came within 1/10 of a grain of what it was supposed to be for all 3 of those. I shot 3 different calibers, 2 other calibers that same day through the chrono, and both of those produced numbers that I expected. So I've got to believe that it was some kind of an anomaly with the chronograph, but the other 2 calibers were okay under the same conditions. It shouldn't have been that fast. I've shot this a lot. This is that you and I have actually talked about this, Tommy Boy. This is that Faxon 24-inch barrel, and the one with the 1/2-inch 20 threading on the muzzle. And I actually cut it off and recrowned it, and that was the reason for the first crowning that didn't shoot so well. And I recrowned it, and then it shot much better. And that's when I started getting those velocities. Now, I've only ever gotten maybe 50 or 60 feet per second over a 16-inch barrel. So I don't really have any way to explain it. The load was fine. The bullet is a FTX. Let's see if I have it here. Yeah. It's 3.56 diameter. 165 grain, and I'm shooting 3.55 diameter, 170 grain, and I can't even get 22 before I hit pressures. Now, of course, every bullet's different, so it doesn't really mean anything, but 5 grains heavier, you wouldn't think would be a big difference just on face value, but we both know that that's not how it works. So I can't explain it. No, I can't explain it, but it's safe. There's no pressure signs. Everything's fine. Every piece of brass is allotted from that ammo. I've got, everything is right here. It's all right here. Every piece of brass that came out of that gun with that load is right here. And every one of them is fine. I've measured the case heads. There's no swelling. Everything's fine. So no, I can't explain it. All I can say is it was an anomaly with the chronograph.
Yeah.
Cannot
Weird.
explain it.
That'd be fun, Christian. Of course, deer hunting's fun, no matter what caliber. We got Chris from the 740s out there,
Hello, Chris.
and Tommy Boy's asking, did you have any case head expansion?
There is, but it's only, thousands, so nothing appreciable. I had some in that same ladder load with the 170 grain. I went up to 26.3 grains, and I only fired one. If you watched the video, you remember I said I stopped with one round because I didn't like how it looked. And that piece of brass, see if I can find it here. It's bad.
Yeah, there's a couple of cartridges, new ones out there. I load 350 Legend, but I'm also interested in that 360 buck hammer, and I'm also interested in 400 Legend. So, what do you guys know about 400 Legend?
Blow me up, Gene, if you would. Can you see the burr I've got at the base of that piece of brass?
Oh yeah.
See the band? Now that's gone through the sizing die, but that's how swelled that case head was with that one shot. And it does have the imprintation of the button, the extractor button, the ejector button. So that's that one piece of brass that was 26.3 grains with a 170 grain bullet. That had quite a bit of case head expansion. But this was not from the 165s. This was these 170 grain Furies.
Good night, Rich. Hope you feel better, buddy.
Yeah, good night, Rich.
Chessboard says we're watching CW do all the work. That's because he's over there doing work and not paying attention to the chat. So
I get him. He's keeping us away with all the chatter back there.
yeah. Well, nobody knows much about. Tommy Boy said that they both run less PSI than the 350. The thing about 350 Legend is that it's more tapered than it looks, and it's very critical to have your brass trimmed to the proper distance. Too short is a whole lot better than too long. And I'm wanting the bolt gun in either 350 Legend or 400 Legend. We'll figure it out. So we're already like 35 minutes and we need to run down the side chat. Hillbilly, before you take off anywhere, what do you think we should type to call out side chat?
Oh man, but GSC Georgia Shooting Connection. How's that?
That'd be great. So yeah, Lakeview says hashtag 270, and
Yeah.
that always works. Stevens reminds you of a Titka, a nice little rifle for under 400. I'm finding that too, man. As Stevens basically is the Savage, right? All right, let me go all the way back up here to the beginning. All right, so we got Andy 79Z28, Lakeview Outdoors, Viejo. Oh man, what am I doing here? Walks Fletcher. I gotta get back up here again. I hit the wrong button. Let me start over. All Loud said hard seltzer if I'm asking Hillbilly. Let's do this while I'm doing it. So we got Andy 79Z28, Lakeview Outdoors, Viejo, Walks Fletcher, Ricky Baird, Abigail Finnegan, Andy 79Z28, Six Shooter Texan, Edward Petty, Bama Dad, Gizzard Gary, Duffer 426, Tim S., Bobby Barlow, Corners and Doors, Jesse B. Outdoors, Trees are Blowing. What's going on, buddy? Rick Harris, Walks Fletcher, Paul Loud, Dwayne 7834, Georgia Trapping and Fishing, Tommy Boy, Chessboard, Mike Hester, Christian Grest. I hope I said that right, Christian. Lakeview Outdoors, Chris from the 740, Walks Fletcher again, BPJ, Walks Fletcher, 270. Chris from the 740s out there, Hasbro, uh, Michael Hurtneck, Big Al, Del Pogue, Floridian, Hasbro, Reloader 762, Floridian, Chessboard. We got a lot of 270s out there. Walks Fletcher, Christian Grest, and Chris from the 740. He's got a question for Reloader 762. So 155 XTP. What caliber are we talking about? So welcome in everybody. We've had over 50 already, and we're showing 48 right now. So Walks, according to Fuzz 248, we like 270. We're drunks. And according to one of the other guys, I forget, I think it was Tommy Boy, we're poachers. So because you shoot 270, you're either a drunk or a poacher or both. I don't consider myself either. So there's that. There's a good tip. No, Hasbro, don't go there. So if your threaded barrel is not shooting good, the muzzle may have expanded from threading it. So cut it off, recrown it like CW did.
Interesting.
And now the cornbread stuff begins. Help me, Mock.
Yeah. Oh, let me go get a glass of milk first.
Well, there you go. Topic of the night we want to talk about is gun maintenance. What you do before to get ready for hunting season, what you do when you get back from the range, this, that, and the other. I think most folks, we get back from the range, we pretty much don't do anything. Like last time I went was 2 weeks ago tomorrow. My range bag is still sitting right there with 2 pistols in it that I got to get cleaned up and put back in the safe. So, one of the things I do is at least wipe them down with an oily rag. I'm a blued steel and wood guy, and I can't stand the thought of fingerprints being on my blued steel, so I gotta wipe that stuff down. So, who wants to go next?
I'll go. I got nothing to lose here. When I go to the range, you guys already know it's mostly handguns for me. And when I get back, I deprime all my brass. I do that as soon as I get back, and it goes into the bag for that caliber. And then as soon as that bag's full or I'm out of clean brass, then I tumble it and resize it. I do it all in a big batch. So rather than let a bunch of brass, gather up that still needs to be deprimed, I deprime it all at once, and then when when I get back from the range, and then it's all ready to go into the wet tumbler when I'm low or out. As far as the firearms go, I strive to clean them when I get home. I don't shoot hundreds of rounds through a firearm at the range. I shoot somewhere between 50 and 100 rounds at a time through the handguns. And it's mostly cast bullets, and there's always a little bit of schmutz in the forcing cone or something that needs to be taken care of. So I try to do that on the same day that I get back from the range. It doesn't always happen. If it doesn't happen that day, though, it does happen the next day. If I take one of the rifles, I'm not so strong on scrubbing the rifles out real hard. I might just run a snake through them, once or twice and call it good, and then wipe the exterior down. Usually they don't get as loaded up with stuff that the handguns do, and a snake will get the excess, powder and char and stuff out of there. I take a look at the action. If it looks funky, then I'll, work the action a little bit. But I don't do as much on my rifles as I do as the handguns. And all that said, I went to the range yesterday and shot 2 single action revolvers, and they're both still sitting in the range. I didn't do them yesterday. So I got to get them done.
So Rick Harris is having trouble getting his Andy. I got to throw that up. Andy says if I wear gloves, I won't have any more fingerprints. Good point.
Yeah, but then you can get that good smelling Hoppies number 9 all over your hands. It's like perfume, man.
Yeah, it'd be hard to explain. So Rick says he's using a Hornady American Whitetail. Can't get a good group. What
are you shooting?
What caliber and what rifle are you shooting? I've not had any problems with it. Don't know that I've ever shot it, but Christian says he's got some very accurate 6.5 Creedmoor out of that stuff.
I mean, I'm definitely have no knowledge on this, but I've had really good luck with Hornady on my hunting rounds.
I wonder if that's the only ammo he has trouble grouping with. I wonder if it's a bedding issue or something silly. I mean, I don't know.
Might be a scope issue like I ran into.
No, that's not. Definitely start eliminating other things. I mean, but
see,
my uncle was having trouble one time. We brought his rifle down and locked it in the vise, and he was having a shooter's problem, not a rifle problem. But on his 30-06.
Okay, it's a Savage Axis and 7mm 08.
Interesting. those are usually pretty decent shooters too. I mean, out of the box, like, yeah. Huh.
Not Jesse.
Jesse B saying good night.
Good night, Jesse.
Sorry.
He had a couple good videos
Not
out this
bad.
week too.
Yeah, he did.
So, Timothy Burkett, I hunted with 350 Legend last year, but typically I'll hunt with 35 Remington in one stand where I got a lot of brush and stuff, and a shorter distance, and then 270 on in another stand where I could shoot out to 400 or 500 yards. Not that I will, but back to the previous question. The 7mm 08. That's got to be an accurate cartridge, but I'm not sure if they reload enough of that to make it really, really accurate. I mean, I'm sure
As accurate as any other.
Yeah.
Mine's crazy accurate. But what I wanted to ask, I didn't know I was muted. What I wanted to ask was the bore in that rifle, Rick. How smooth is that? I'm just curious because mine, I can't believe how slick and smooth that barrel is in my Savage 708. It feels almost polished. I bought it brand new. It was a woman's or ladies' pink camo short jobber. Kids or ladies' gun. Mine was.
And Tommy boy, you hit the nail on the head right there. And another thing you need to make sure of is that screw is not cross threaded. I'm working on a friend's 308 Savage Axis, and I keep running into more and more stuff. But Rick, I would first thing I'd look at would be that scope and make sure it's solid on the gun, and then just try a different brand of ammo and see if it shoots any better, and if not,
I don't know if you guys use this method, but when I'm having trouble, especially with the scope, is one of the first things I do is I put my bore sight, my laser bore sight, down the barrel and see if I've knocked that scope some or what. Because most usually when I do that, the scope's off. But if your groups are all different places, that's a whole nother thing. That'd be the scope moving, wouldn't it?
There's Johnny 1982. What's going on, bud?
Paul just said buy another gun. I'll take care of it.
Yeah. I know that feeling, Hasbro, but if it's cross-threaded, you're not going to get that, you won't get it solid on the gun, and it rocks and rolls. If y'all remember when I started the 308 project,
that really sounds official, Jamie, the 308 project.
Yeah, it was. Well, it's not. It's a buddy of mine. I'm doing some work for a friend and trying to get him some good loads and a good scope on that gun, and I think that's what led us to the topic of maintenance and stuff, and particularly scope mounting. Look, guys, there's a ton of videos out there on mounting your scopes, and even Big Al's saying if I have a problem with my scope, it's because I'm not keeping it level. He has levels on all his rifles. And if y'all saw CW's video that he put out earlier today, he's got a level on his. 2 of them, as a matter of fact.
Mhm.
And so, but I had 2 screws in the. He had the 2-piece mounts on his Savage axis. The very front screw was cross threaded, and the very back screw was cross threaded. And trying to get them out, I broke the screws off. I had to drill them out, and I drilled them out, and then I was uh, trying to thread them back, and broke a tap off in there, and I'm done, man. You know, I've been working on this stuff for a month now, and I'm tired of fooling with it.
Yeah.
I'm carrying it to a gunsmith, and I'll pay him.
I'm getting a bunch of white noise.
Yeah, I hear that.
No, it's not. It's not
That's the
CW.
jet
it's
fighters
something.
overhead here.
No,
Yeah,
I hear it. I hear it as well.
yeah, it's really nasty.
I'll
Is it
move
me?
if it's me.
Yeah, that's a good point too. But it's hard for me to think that a hunting rifle, uh, no more than we shoot those, uh, is the barrel shot out. But Rick, how old is the gun? How many rounds you think you got through it? Mike, you want me to bring this rifle up there to you? You got a drill press?
Yeah.
That's what I was starting to tell you, Jamie. That's how I do it. When I do them, I do one hole at a time, and I set everything up so that everything is square and true when I drill the hole. And before I move the setup, I tap the hole because I use the quill as my center.
Turn it by hand. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm pulling down with the handle of the drill press, but only to center up. I put a tapered bit in with a bullet point on it to center up the back of the chuck of the back of the T-bar for the tap. I've got a video showing you doing it,
That's the way to do it right there.
and then everything is set up true, square. You know it's right because nothing's moved.
And there's no deviation on that tap.
Right. It's that hole is perfect, and you go to the next hole and you set it all up, and then you finish that hole. Doesn't do anything for you for the dimensions between the holes, but that hole will be straight and true and square as you make it.
Yep.
Yeah, check your scope, man. Get that gun out and wiggle that scope. I bought some, Tommy boy, but they're trash.
Well, once you start to drill out a tap, you're in a different neighborhood trying to drill out a tap. That's some hard ass stuff.
Yeah, you see what
Excuse
Mike
me.
said? No, that's your piece of crap. Thank you, buddy.
If you do have to try to deal out a tap like that, go ahead and spend the money and get a reverse drill bit. because if you are lucky enough to get a bite, sometimes you can unthread it.
Sure.
It's really small. It's hard to get in there, but taps can be very
Yeah.
brittle. You can often chip it out.
Yeah. The
Nature of the
reverse
beast.
drill bit saved our bacon a bunch over the years in the garage and a lot of other stuff.
See you over there after a while, Gizzard. Have a good show.
See, Gary.
Ricky, that's because you mount them on 444 Marlins. Silly. What are you thinking?
Here's this we were just talking about. 4064 powder, 120 grain bullet. 0.5 5.2 is just over half an inch.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
That's 708.
Yeah, 708's a good.
It shoots. That gun just flat shoots.
Well, guys, it's time to go pick up the granddaughter. Friday night football's over, and they're all done with their little celebration. So I'm gonna go grab her. I'll try to cruise back and get on, but if not, I'll catch you all on the next one. But,
See you, buddy.
Glad
You have a good one.
glad I got to hang out with you folks a little bit. Take care, stay warm, and get out there and do some hunting.
Good night, Mark.
Good night, Mark.
See you, buddy.
Yep.
Bud.
Bye.
Oh, we have the sighting. Are y'all ready?
We's ready.
Hold on a minute. 3, 2, 1. Hey!
Hi, Mario.
I don't know if you got Christian's comment there earlier. He said cross-threading was a poor man's Loctite.
Not just that. Six
This
shooter
redneck
killed
Loctite, man.
when you start using real taps and not the hardware store crap, you won't break taps. I
Probably.
want to know where to get the real ones, man. I don't mind paying for them if I can find them.
You really need to talk to your tool dealer. Matco, Snap-on. I mean, those are quality. My dad been in the garage for all the years he has. I mean, just can't. It's worth the money. MacMan might even be able to set you up on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can go to Granger. KBC Tools. Yeah, I'm tired of fighting with this stuff, man. I'm just tired of it.
You know, for the occasional, homeowner type job, homeowner type tools will work. But if you got something that you're doing over and over again repetitively, then you want good stuff. If you're using your table saw a lot, you want a decent saw blade on there. If you're using your drill press a lot, you want one that's quality and doesn't have 10 thousandths of run out on the chuck and that kind of thing. But, a little circular saw or saber saw or something like that, most of the time we can get by with inexpensive,
Right.
power tools and hand tools and stuff. And for most of us, a claw hammer is a claw hammer. But if you got stuff you can do over and over again, do a lot of it, get the good stuff.
Y'all are crazy. Ozark's here, so we can calm down now.
Whoops. Sorry, Jamie. Accidentally hit the wrong button. So, talking about getting ready for hunting and the range and all that. So, like my 30-30 and that stuff, I mean, I basically look up the barrel, make sure there's not anything in it, and give it a good wipe down, stuff like that. And if like I have the opportunity, I'll take one shot with it, make sure it's still sighted in, or I'll stick my bore sight in there, just to test it, make sure the scope's still good on it and stuff like that. But as far as iron sights on it, you don't really need to sight that in. But I like to wipe my guns down and stuff like that after shooting. Like even my videos, I still like wipe them down. And I do have like Walter was saying, some of the pistols they get a little nastier than others, stuff, especially rifles. And I like to run a snake through them. But one of the bad things is like winter's coming on, it's harder to find them snakes. They hibernate, but
They hide before they do.
yeah.
So Big Al's tell good night. Tell Big Al good night, y'all. And
Good night,
Good night, Big Al.
great seeing him out there. Ozark got his youngest son married off, so now he can walk through the house in his underwear and not feel too bad about it.
He's setting up that naked room already.
There's Hamilton Outdoors. What's going on, buddy?
Hello, Rob.
Hey, Rob. Man, Rob sure has him a nice little range there. Well, not little. He got him a nice range there in his new place. I'm looking forward to seeing some of those videos.
I'm telling you what, I grilled out I say grilled and not smoked because it only took about hour and a half on that pellet grill. And of course, I've got it all sectioned out, but I cooked a hind quarter on that pit boss the other night. You talking about good Lord.
Boy, that sounds great.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And for eating, those are the best. But yeah, I try to get all my guns out to shoot them before I take them hunting. Yeah, those CZs are nice, Tommy boy and Rebel. It's about time for me to go up to see old Mike again. It's getting to be fall of the year. And just got to find a time because it's getting to be hunting season. Might be after hunting season's over before I make it up there, but I want to come see you again, Rebel. I know, man. Hard to beat good deer meat. And right about now is typically when we would have our segment about what's Hot Pot got. But he ain't here tonight. So
We scared Mock off too. He thought he was gonna have to do it. So.
he's running after grandbaby. He might be
Yeah.
back. Yeah. It's
What's
time.
CW got flying around there?
CW's probably got some interesting thing. He did a interesting video earlier today about his sharps.
Yeah. 25.
25-45, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you had done a number of new improvements on that rifle.
Yeah, I changed a bunch of parts past year. Just changed the stock the other day. I was given that as a gift, doing a favor for a guy. So it was a Nice stock. It was used,
Yeah.
but it was not abused by any means.
That
He took it
isn't.
off because I think it was heavy.
Reminds me of a scope that Abigail introduced us to Wednesday night on Chris from the 740. I can't remember exactly what it was called, but it was much like that. The only real difference, CW, is with the at that top plate at the stock. It was more triangular shape, where yours was more rounded at the top, and so very similar. Uh, 300 PRC or 204 Ruger. I would probably do 300 because I'm a 30 caliber guy. And then what are y'all's thoughts? Anybody know anything about 204 Ruger?
It's a 222 Remington Magnum case, neck down to 20 caliber.
What's your thoughts on powder 3031? I've been told
It's a good
that
one.
if you don't use 3031 when you reload Winchester 30 Winchester, you can't get into heaven. So
Yeah. I've used it forever for my 30-30.
It's a good cast bullet powder. I use it all the time.
I've got some and I used it in my 35 Remington, but it didn't do as well as H335 or Western Ramshot Tac.
.224 for a coyote gun.
224 Valkyrie, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Oh, he meant 204.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can see where brass for both of those would be hard to come by.
Hey, Johnny says he has an opportunity to pick up a couple of pounds for $40. Wow.
Yeah, 3031, if I could get it for that, you'll be all right. Walt says he's getting into heaven. He uses 3031. See, Rick Harris, if you're still out there, this is what we're talking about. James is talking about he took the Tasco off his old Remington 760 and the screws were about to fall out. Look at there. He's already figured it out, y'all. Mounts were good. It was the scope rings that were loose. Praise the Lord.
Oh,
I'll be
Very
darned.
good. Yeah, so they're talking about Hornady blew up, had a fire.
Oh man.
Oh no.
Really?
One died at
The
the factory. Bummer.
oh man. Good grief. Between that and the possibility of Lake City being shut down for commercial production, that sounded good.
No. It seems like it's always perfect timing too, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Do we dare show this on the air?
So what?
The news story?
No. I don't know why not.
I know Gizzard's been on his show on Friday nights, been showing news articles and stuff. I don't think he's been having any trouble.
Well, an investigation is still underway tonight to determine what caused a deadly explosion at the Grand Island area manufacturer. Just before 10 a.m., first responders rushed to the Hornady manufacturing plant on Old Potash Highway just northwest of Alda. The Hall County attorney says that a woman died in the explosion with 2 other men suffering minor injuries. Cara, Wood River, Alda, and GI Rural Fire all responded to the blast, but the state fire marshal and Hall County Sheriff's Office deputies remained on scene into the afternoon as they investigate the cause. Make sure to keep it with Local 4 as we continue to learn more.
Tonight at 5:30, some stunning video of a bear entering a home in Barkhamsted. The black bear took food from the freezer before eventually leaving, too. Channel 3's Aglow spoke exclusively with the homeowner.
It was all captured on Ring cameras inside of this Barkhamsted home.
And that's just the bare facts.
I was listening to the radio today, riding around in my truck, and they were talking about there's black bears at the beach. Don't they know they're supposed to be in the mountains and getting ready to hibernate? So I guess they're taking that last vacation. He said they were down between Panama City and Destin. And Ozark Spirit knows exactly where that is. I guess most of us do, especially if you're in the southeast. But we call it the Redneck Riviera. I know Hillbilly's been there.
Darn right. Yeah, I took a can of spray paint and wrote my name in the sand. It's probably still there.
If it was in Panama City, it's not. They drive them tractors down through there every night. Walk says bears got to eat too. Duffer says bears healthy, he eats chicken. So, yeah, before you start going hunting, guys, you need to take those guns out. Make sure they're zeroed in well, and make sure you're getting good groups. Like Rick Harris has already found his problem, so that's great.
Yeah, I know.
Go ahead, Bill.
I was just gonna say, and as hunters, we don't want to wound the animal and not be able to find it either. So that's just as much your responsibility as making sure your gun's gonna hit at what you're aiming at.
Yep. I'm gonna tell you some of the best eating I ever put in my mouth is crawfish etouffee. I'm just telling you by my dad. But that deer on the pit boss wasn't bad the other night either. So yeah, crossbows are fun, James. You'll like that.
Macman took his elk this year with a crossbow. He got a nice one.
Man, have you seen them things up close? I'm telling you, man, I'm not sure I want to get that close to them.
I know.
Dale Poe had catfish. That ain't bad.
Yeah.
See, yeah.
Our California black bears out here aren't all that big. Well, they'll get up. A big boar is maybe 350, 400 pounds. Every once in a while, Fish and Game will relocate a big bear out of Yosemite National Park or one of the other national parks here in the state and put them over in our backcountry here. They mark them, paint spray on their head so you know where they came from. But most of the ones out here are not real big, and they're pretty timid.
You talking about bear or elk?
Oh, bear. Yeah, sorry.
I would love that, Ozark. Apparently the bears are getting up and around. Yeah, Tommy boy, I've heard that too. I've had like elk burgers, but not like real elk.
Well, elk is wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Walks. They'll run you over kind of like a moose. Yeah. So are we ready for the verse of the week?
Is that time already? Wait. Yeah, 9:15.
I just want to know if anybody ever got to eat any Bigfoot. I wonder how that tastes.
It's like chicken.
Like chicken? I bet James Pugh could grill it up. He has some good cooking videos on his show.
I did not.
I don't have it. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Tim.
Chessboard said there's a Bigfoot video in Colorado. And Mike Hester's saying the North Carolina record for a bear is 880 pounds.
Ooh, a big boy.
Now here's a southern boy. If it's fried, it's good. All right, my banner got took away. I'll make another one then if you're gonna be like that, StreamYard. And this is probably going to start kind of like a series. All right, that's my fault. Tonight's verse of the week is Matthew chapter 5, starting in verse 2. And y'all can see the verse there. This is from Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. And I'll start with verse 1 to get us in. And seeing the multitudes, he went up into a mountain. And when he was set, his disciples came to him. And he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. This is from the greatest sermon ever preached, because it's Jesus talking and preaching the Sermon on the Mount. And this is what they call the Beatitudes. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Blessed are they that mourn. And we'll go through all of them. And I have not, Tommy boy. So let's we see what Jesus is saying here. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. To me, that goes back to some Old Testament verses, particularly the writings, Psalm and Proverbs, where it talks about we shouldn't be haughty, stuck up, run around with our nose stuck up in the air and all that kind of stuff. And I wished I could remember exactly. Basically, pride comes before the fall. In other words, if you're high in spirit, if you're haughty and proud person, then there's a fall coming your way. So be humble, love God, love other people, and yours is the kingdom of heaven. And blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. And we spent a lot of time praying for Ozark, and when his wife Susie passed, and when Sandra passed, for CW, and of that comfort that can only come from God and the Holy Spirit. And there's another life coming, guys, and we got to start getting ready for that. So I hope all y'all take that and keep that in mind. Anybody want to share on these verses?
Well, as you said, Jamie, this is just kind of the beginning. And, you know, the poor in spirit, let's talk about that for just a minute. What's in your interpretation, who are the poor in spirit? What does that mean to you? Does that mean somebody who has no spirit or is weak in the spirit? Well, that particular phrase has kind of bothered me for a long time. I've never quite known, and I asked my minister at one point many years ago. Now I can't remember what he told me because I was not sure what that meant. Blessed are the poor in spirit. I mean, a direct English word for word translation sounds like it's like they're talking about somebody who doesn't have much spirit going for them. What do you think about that, Jamie?
To me, it's well, if you look over here, my dad helped me out with the Proverbs 16:8, King James. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall.
Yep.
So a haughty spirit would be, in my mind, the opposite of poor in spirit.
Okay.
Not necessarily that you're walking around like a dredge all the time, but you're just not
not taken up by things, not taken up by by
Right.
worldly goods and that kind of stuff. Okay, that
That's
makes
my
sense to me then.
that's my take on it. I could be totally wrong. You also got to bear in mind this is the original King James translation as well.
True.
One of the newer translations may say, and I'll try to find something on that. You go ahead and talk about it, and I'll
Well, yeah, I wasn't going to say a whole lot more. As I had mentioned, this is just the kind of the very beginning of this particular sermon, and it's a good one, and there's a lot of strength in this one. And given some of the worldly problems that are happening right now around us, there's some parts of this sermon that talk about the peacemakers too, and we probably don't want to talk about that tonight. But if you're going to do a series on this, we'll have to talk about what that means to everybody as well. But this is a good one for us to do. Talk about 3 or 4 nights, and blessed are they that mourn. And I think that is saying that if you're the kind of person who can't mourn or who doesn't, then you're missing something inside you, and because of that, the opposite of that, verse 4, blessed are they that mourn. The opposite of that would be to say that if you can't mourn, then maybe you are not going to be blessed either. So just something to think about it, But if, on the other hand, if you're the type of a person who can mourn not only for your own loss but for the loss of your brothers, then you're going to be comforted in that mourning process. I think all of us here certainly have experienced that along with that grief, eventually comes some comfort.
So on Wednesday nights, I go to a small group men's meeting, and it's called G3 Men, and there's a lesson on the Sermon on the Mount from G3 Ministries, and it's got an overview here, and it says Jesus' conception of what it means to be blessed is an affront to our natural inclinations. In this passage, Jesus explained that his followers are blessed no matter their present reality because of the sure future hope that is stored up for them in and by God through Jesus Christ. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what our state is right now because of Bama Dad's got it right there. It's those who humble themselves in the sight of Almighty God.
Kind of how I've always kind of taken it. To be poor in spirit, it's like they understand that they need the Lord. That they cannot do it on their own. They need His grace, His forgiveness, and all that stuff. So, I mean, I kind of agree with all that's been said.
Yeah, Casey Dolph says poor in spirit are those who are hurting, and we all are.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly right, Ozark. It's okay to be mad at God for a little while. He can certainly handle it. But you don't want to stay there, brother. You don't want to
Right.
stay there. There you go, a bunch of good points.
Yeah.
Lakeview says amen. All right, so anybody else you got anything else, Hillbilly?
No, I mean that everybody's kind of covered everything that I would have to say. And I think the morning, that's not, don't take that as feeling sorry for yourself. It's feeling sorry for, hard to explain that part, but you're hurt and you're mourning and stuff. Even though you might like feel bad that you're missing that person or whatever, that's the love for that person is what you're actually missing. And even though that they're in a better spot and everything, that it is okay to mourn, and that the only way you're going to get that comfort is through the Lord. There's no doubt about that. Nothing else is going to comfort you. You ain't gonna get that out of a bottle anywhere.
Yeah, that's a fact.
What about a can of hard seltzer, Hillbilly?
Yeah. There's
That
no
makes you
salvation
feel
in that
worse.
either.
No,
Yeah.
no comfort in
It's-
that.
No,
The-
not at all.
Matthew chapter 5 is a power-packed chapter. The thought just crossed my mind, looking at this here, that, isn't it amazing how a couple sentences like that can just evoke, so much commentary, from all of us and get us thinking and talking about it. And it's one of the things that I like about this segment, Jamie, is that it does stimulate, thought. And, I can, living alone, I can sit down here and I can pick the book up and flip through it and read this passage, that passage, or the other passage. But it's a lot better to sit and talk about it with other people, I think, because, my thought direction is going to go one direction, but then you or a hillbilly or CW or somebody's going to say something else that's going to steer me in a different direction that I might not have thought about before. So, and it's the same thing with going to church and listening to your preacher or your pastor or your minister or your priest there. That's kind of their job is to help pull this out, draw this thought process out and get you to think about things. And this helps also. I think it's a good deal. I'm really enjoying it. I hope everybody else over here on the side chat is too. You guys,
Well,
seem to be participating. Yeah.
Tactical Rabbit says Judges chapter 15, verses 15 through 17. We'll go find what that is and share that with y'all too if y'all want. But I just appreciate.
15, 16.
Can I say something about Walter about being able to talk and stuff? I know you're probably familiar with the Rhema and the Logos. One's the read, the written, and one's the spoken. And the two different meanings that are used the same. And so I think you get comfort of speaking and sharing.
Agreed. And that's what makes living in a society partly worthwhile, at least, as opposed to being a hermit. That you have those opportunities to get out and lay some things out in the open and ask questions and talk and exchange ideas.
Well, one thing we got to remember too, this is just the first two Beatitudes, and it's a prologue to the whole Sermon on the Mount, which goes on for 2.5 chapters or more. And Tactical Rabbit, why did you tell us to look up that verse? I can't believe that. Anyway,
He was talking about me.
yeah.
Talking about my jawbone.
Well, there you have it, sports fans. You heard it here first. All right, so that'll wrap up our verse of the week, and I hope y'all enjoy it. And I want to to all you guys out there, I thank you for letting me do this. It means a lot to me to be able to put some verses up there and just talk about them briefly, and hopefully it'll help somebody that don't know the Lord or not where they want to be in relationship with Him, and or maybe like Ozark Spirit said, he was mad at God. Maybe that'll help you get over that and get past that. So we're not doing it to bore you. We're not doing it to make you mad. We're doing it there to share our love with you, for you, and with you, and that's what it's all about. So.
CW, what in the world are you working on over there? All we see is your shoulders working, and you're working hard at something.
Still, they're messing with primers a little good.
I primed up some 350s and loaded up some 350s, and that's it.
Okay. Well, you've just been cranking over there.
350 Legends.
You gonna shoot this week? Gonna shoot them?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'll be out.
All right. Cool.
I'll be out for sure.
So I think I got to try to get to the range. My dad called. He's bought a washing machine, and I got to go pick it up and deliver it to his house. And you know what that means? When I get it there, I got to get it off the truck, get it in the house, install it, and then do something with the old one. So there's that.
Just shoot the old one. That's what we do around here.
I saw a video today where they had put a bunch of tannerite in one and shot it from way across the field. There was one. Right. Let's kill our old washing machine. I saw a short on, they shot 300 pounds of tannerite.
Oh my goodness.
Oh. Dang. That didn't get somebody's attention downtown like the fire department. I don't know what would.
Really?
Especially when those doors.
Yeah. One guy had a bunch inside an old refrigerator, and he shot it, and the door came off, and the door nearly took him out. I mean, he was a good 60, 70 yards from that refrigerator.
I saw that.
And he was ducking and dodging, shucking and jiving.
That's like, I wonder if this stuff will blow up good. Here, hold my beer.
Yeah.
When I seen a long time ago, they were shooting, I don't know if it was a dryer, I think, or whatever, but they had the door open slightly so they could shoot the tannerite, and that door, there's somebody filming beside the shooter, and that door come right between them. Before they even reacted, the door went by, and then they reacted. I mean, there's no getting out of the way of that stuff.
Yeah. Chad Kelly has joined us. Hello, Chad.
Hey, Chad.
Ozark's loading up 45 ACP.
Yeah. I was just looking at my 45 stuff today, too. I want to go shoot some 45. I haven't had a chance to shoot much. I've been doing shooting revolver stuff, it seems like, forever. I don't know why. I guess I got more revolver molds and more revolvers, rounds sitting on the shelf that need to go bye-bye, but I'm missing shooting the 45 ACP. And I still don't have my 10 millimeter back yet. Dang, they've had it Kimber's had it for 6 weeks now,
Any
and I don't have it back.
correspondence?
Nope. Well, here it has to go in through the an FFL. So I had the dealer that I bought it from send it, but they haven't said diddly either. I need to just go in there and rattle their cage a little bit. Say, hey, that was an expensive firearm,
Yeah.
and I bought a number of them from those guys, so they need to step up a little bit.
Yeah, we could do a whole show on customer service. I think we already did, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. And it's mixed. One guy can have cruddy customer service from one company, Ruger or somebody, and then the next guy has a terrible time with them. There are some that are. Lee is another one that. Well, let's not talk. We already talked about. We don't need to go off on that tangent again. But yeah, I'm not real happy right now with Kimber.
Dang. Vanessa's making me hungry over there.
Scallops and corned beef and
Man, I never thought about doing corned beef in the smoker. That does sound pretty good, actually.
Yeah, it does.
Man, some good hardwood. I'm going to try that. That sounds great. A good idea.
I prefer the pastrami over the corned beef.
Yeah,
As far as like the sandwiches, yeah.
I like pastrami too. In fact, I had pastrami for lunch today. Was in the grocery store and they got a deli section in there and they sliced it up. I like it just paper thin, and
Yeah.
stack it up with. Yeah, it's good stuff.
I love Philly cheesesteaks, but man, they're stingy with the steak. There's Mac
Yeah.
Man. What's going on, dude?
Hey,
Mac Man, back from the hills. He's been out hunting for 3 weeks. Fixing his trucks, I guess.
Mhm.
Good to see you, Julian.
hello, Julian. Bacon? Squirrel?
Somebody say bacon. CW's over there cranking away. Bacon? What
What's
is
that?
it about bacon?
One of
It's
the
just-
two
is there anybody
things
who
that-
doesn't like bacon?
Yeah, one of the two things that a lot of workplaces don't let you put in the microwave, that's bacon or fish. Bacon because everybody wants to eat some, and they can't, and then fish just because of the smell.
Good night, Ozark. Hot tub.
Good night.
sitting right here.
Good night, Ozark.
Good night, Ozark.
Last time I got in the hot tub, I had a tough time. So probably don't need to be doing that anymore. Of course, I turned it up to like 108 degrees before I got it. Yeah, it was.
Next time, throw some sliced carrots and onions and stuff in there, and just sit there. I mean, simmer for a while.
New potatoes, you betcha.
There you go. Yeah.
It's just like you're supposed to start cool and then turn it up. Just like they say, reason a frog don't jump out of the pan of boiling water is if you start it out cool, they don't realize the temperature is getting hot.
So good night, Walks.
Good night, Walks. Talk to you in the morning, probably.
Yeah, buddy.
Good night, Raj.
Now we got a bacon argument out there going.
Uh-oh.
Bacon's like politics. You have to be careful when you start talking about it.
That's
I
right.
tell-
Everyone's got their favorites.
There's one thing that we can, three things that we can agree on we need more of in the world. Number one is bacon. Number two is large pistol primers. And number three is large rifle primers.
Yeah. Oh boy. Small pistol primers are plenty available right now. You remember 6 months ago you couldn't find one, with to save your soul. There just weren't any, and now there seem to be plentiful. They're still way overpriced. We're still wanting 3 times what they were pre-pandemic, but they are available. But not so much with large.
Yeah, I hadn't seen large pistol or large rifle in quite a while. And Johnny 1982 says yes, yes, and yes.
Yes, yeah.
Johnny, I don't know where Johnny's reloading bench has been. If he don't come out with some uh, videos soon, I'm gonna I contribute to him over on Patreon. So
I've watched him, for a long time when he brought his pigs in, and that was kind of an interesting series, and with his chickens and whatnot, and then that all just kind of stopped too. And I thought, well, God dang, what happened to all those pigs? What'd you do with them? Did you eat them or what?
He had said he was getting burned out or he was tired. Last one of the videos I saw.
Was it?
I forget.
He
what
made a lot of.
He did a couple of things. Maybe a series or something he had started, and then he talked about when he gave us his real name and everything. He talked about getting burned out and being honest with everybody. And he said he felt like he wasn't being honest going by Johnny when it wasn't his name. I forget what his name is, but nowhere near Johnny.
Yeah.
it's Brandon.
Brandon or Karen?
Is it? I don't. That doesn't ring a bell. Anyway.
And Johnny 1982 says he shut down his Patreon account.
Well, Shannon, that's it.
Shannon, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
And Vanessa, stop. I'm telling you what, honey.
Hey,
I've already
pork
eaten.
fat rules.
I know pork fat rules. There ain't no doubt. And let's go back up here to look at the trapper's comment. Anything cooked with bacon grease with cornbread is good. And it's even better when you use bacon grease in the cornbread. So, yeah. And I guess we need to apologize for not having a bigger panel tonight. I thought more folks would be here, but we're missing Gene. He's doing a wedding. Of course, y'all know Kyle's off working these days.
Mark's not here either. The other Mark with a C.
He said he sent me a text earlier. He can't be here because their internet's out.
Oh,
man.
Okay.
So that's a bummer.
Yeah.
So,
Man, you guys over in the side chat are making me hungry. I'm starting to drool. It's pushing 7 o'clock here, and I usually every other night of the week I'm shoving food down my throat at about 6. So about 6:15, my stomach starts complaining about just about everything that it could complain about, and I got to listen to this stuff over here on this side chat. Biscuits and bacon.
Yeah,
I
I'd eat that alligator right now.
I had
I can
breakfast.
imagine those conversations. Conversations go, but why did Jamie kick you off the side chat? What was you doing? Talking about food.
So I ate breakfast about 5 o'clock this morning, and we get out in the boat, fished all day, and we left the boat about 2 o'clock, I guess, 1:30. And my buddy cleaned the boat, and I cleaned the fish. And then we sat down and had a beer and some crackers and cheese, which was really nice. And then drove home. And I was tired, just tired. So
Yeah.
I picked up a grinder, and that's what Papa and I split for dinner. And I didn't want to make nothing. I should have made
Yeah.
that fish, but I just had no energy. I
No
felt a little
gas
better.
left, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, that's nothing. I felt a little better after eating, and I took a shower, and then I felt a little better. But I know if I sat down and just talked with you guys, I would be doing a mark. I would be asleep.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I do some stuff at the loading bench here, and I could listen and participate and stay moving and stay awake. But
I don't blame you. I don't know how you're still awake after a day like that because you
And I'm
started,
doing
well
it again
before
tomorrow.
daybreak.
We're
You
going
going back
tomorrow.
out fishing tomorrow?
Yeah,
All right.
going tomorrow.
Man, you're gonna be worthless come Sunday.
I got an extra half-hour sleep though. We're leaving at 6 instead of 5:30.
Okay.
So that'll
Well,
make
maybe
all
you
the
can-
difference in the world.
Yeah,
So,
right.
no.
All right.
So let's go around the room here before we get too
Yeah,
far.
we're getting close.
What
I think
everybody
all
got coming up.
Vanessa Kitty does is cook lately, starving me to death. So, who wants to go first?
I'll start down here in this corner. So coming up for me, I put out a video today, the Free the Few, number 6 already up on that one. And we got Moldy Monday coming up, number 33 come Monday. So that series has been rocking and rolling for a long time. And this weekend we got the air show. I'm going to walk over to that, spend a little bit of time and talk to some of the fly boys that I know that are going to be there. So that'll be fun. I got the 2 revolvers that I shot yesterday. I got to get those cleaned up. I got brass to tumble. I'm just about out of clean 45 ACP brass, and I want to load some up to go shoot next week. So I started pulling that out, and I go, holy cow, I got about 15 clean cases, and that's it, and probably 10 pounds of dirty ones. So into the tumblers. So I probably got enough to do 2 tumbler fulls. So that's going to happen this weekend. And let's see what else. I've been working on some nice hardwood loading blocks to get rid of my plastic ones, except for the ones that 6-shooter made for me. Those aren't going anywhere. Those are great blocks, but I wanted to make a few. So, and I'd made a couple before that I didn't really like. So been working on that. So that's kind of what I got going on. I'll be casting more next week. Tuesday's usually my casting day. So that's what I got going on. How about you, CW? What do you got happening? Anything fun? Well, you're going fishing, you rascal.
I'm going fishing again. Not can't really do much video into that, although I could set up a GoPro and put it up on a mast or something, but
Yeah.
it gets boring. So it's not that exciting. I take a few pictures, but even that is, you got fish slime all over your hands and you touch your phone and plus the waves and water and so it isn't a good mix, but it's a good time and it's good eating. So we're stocking up the freezer, and I got at least 2 range trips this week, at least 2. I got a pistol match on Wednesday, and I'll get to the range for some rifle stuff at least once during the week, probably more. But still got some other things to take care of around here, kind of putting them off, don't want to do them, but got to get them done. And they won't be fun, but got to do them. Working this stuff slow, I guess, and see how it goes.
Yeah. You got time. There's no hurry. Fishing does sound fun, though. Even if you are thrashed, you better get to bed early as you can tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All that fresh air, sunshine, and it was a nice day. It was a nice day.
Yeah, your pictures look good. Looked like the water wasn't too rough or anything.
It was glass this morning, absolute glass. There wasn't a breath of air until probably about 9:30, And then it started blowing hard. We were actually a little concerned because we wanted to get out offshore. There's a couple of spots that are 160, 150 feet, and you're out in the middle of nowhere. But it laid down to just a breeze, so it wasn't bad. So we made the trip, and
Perfect.
it was worthwhile because we caught another 20 or 30 fish and put another 4 or 5 legal ones in the boat. So
Nice.
yeah, it was good.
Very good. All right, we gotta step it up here. What you got coming up, Hillbilly?
Hey, oh man, just trying to crank out videos. I got a video. I'm pretty sure it's coming out tomorrow. The Hillbilly Bear Can Bowling Challenge. So anyway, it's a lot. I had a lot of fun shooting in. It's something that we've done for years. Just shooting cans. But anyway, we got that coming up, and then tomorrow night we got Guns, Beer, and Therapy at 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern here on Hillbilly Up. So if you guys ain't done nothing, swing by. We always try to have a good time on there. And that's about it, buddy. And I want to thank you guys for inviting me on here.
Well, thanks for being here. Thank you, CW. Thank you, Walter. Appreciate all y'all and all you guys watching outside out there in the side chat. Thank you for being here. Again, I apologize for not having a bigger panel, but we'll work on that next week. And hope y'all have a really good week coming up. So get over to Gizzard Gary next, and he's probably about ready to start. So we hope the Lord blesses y'all real good. And if he's willing, we'll see y'all next Friday night at 8 o'clock. Say good night.